Hello everybody! Welcome back to another Shadowverse Worlds Beyond video. And today I'm going to cover once again the next batch or the latest batch of card reveals that they have shown for Skybound Dragons. Alright, so since we covered most of the initial stuff already, this is gonna be a very short video. And I plan to do this daily until the final day, just so the videos don't drag out too long, like the first two videos that I did. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'll be like showing you guys four cards. First off will be Ewiyar. Ewiyar Wind Personified is a 2 play point 2/1 legendary forest craft follower where the fanfare effect is SBA recover 1 evolution point. And there we go, just like I predicted, like in Shadowverse 1, like cards will eventually evolve themselves and cards will eventually recover our evolution points. But like what do I think about this card? I think this card's actually kind of mid. Because of the reasons of it being like 2-1. Yeah, like if it was a 2-2, maybe, right? Maybe like this is something that I would consider, but since it's a 2-1, I mean, the big thing about this is probably recovering the evolution point, but at the moment, there's no decks right now that I think would want to play Ewiyar. The only deck that I'm thinking of right now is actually maybe Izudia, because if you are forced to evolve early on Izudia, you want to be able to refund that play point in order to be able to play the Izudia card. Because let's say, oh, like the opponent is aggro, I can't play Izudia, but they dragged out the game. You can finish the game. Maybe this is one of the ways you can get your evos back for like a deck like that. Other situations right now don't really like scream anything obvious to me in terms of what you'll use this for. But yeah, like MVR is nice. It's really nice that we got MVR as a card, but I don't see any use of it right now. We'll have to see when the set comes out. But yeah, question mark card, so can't really tell. So next up we have Izmir, Frozen Fate, 5 play point 5 for Silver Dragon follower. Fanfare is if you have 10 max play points, you evolve this follower, and then whenever this follower evolves, you deal 3 damage to all enemy followers. So what is this card good for? I would say this card is probably good for Olivia synergy, or like just straight up using it as a late game removal for when you're getting attacked wide on, right? Because this is basically kind of like Gildaria, right? But you do need 10 max play points for it. And dealing 3 damage to all enemy followers is kinda, let's just say that Congregant wasn't played a lot for like specific reasons. Though the difference of Izmir is though, since it's a 5 like a PP like card compared to Congregant, and also the fact that Izmir doesn't deal damage to your own board, it might actually be more valuable. And since like it can evolve itself, like you know what we learned with like cards like Mukan and cards like Gildaria, right? Like having free evolves might actually be really good, especially if they have an effect alongside with it. All right, so I'm not too high on this card. I would say it's like average. Yeah, I would say it's average and can go to above average based on what type of meta we get. But yeah, like Izmir probably isn't gonna move the needle too much for Dragon, but it's nice to have. It's definitely nice to have. Like if we're talking about like, oh, what deck can fit this right away, I would say probably Jerry OTK. Yeah, Jerry OTK. Maybe this card can be used to clear the board without evolving, because you want the evolve point for the Jerry OTK to work in the first place. So yeah, that's what I think about Izmir. And third card that I'll be showing to you guys will be Mari. All right, so Mari, Meg's close friend. Okay, so with all the lesbians we have in like Worlds Beyond, all right. Surely Megs is just a close friend, smiley face. Ayo, ayo, ayo. So Mary is a 2 play point 2/2 bronze Dragonfrog follower, and She has an effect that activates in hand whenever a tree-based cost allied follower super evolves, reduce the cost of this card to 0 until the end of your turn. So obviously this is for Meg, right? So Meg will super evolve herself, right, and then give ward to whatever two base follower will enter the field, which like Meg at first we were like, oh, what, it's for Mega Lorcas because those are two base. Now we have Mary. So if you manage to like play Meg and then Mary together, you'll get like warded off Mary. You get like a warded Mary alongside the super evolved Meg. So without using evolve points, you're gonna be able to produce value with those two cards. Now the issue I have with these two cards though, Meg and Mary, is the fact that they don't they don't offer a lot of value, right? Like it's like they're good if the meta is somewhat like a mid-rangey or like maybe a grindy like set where people don't have OTKs or people don't have like a lot of like burst damage. But I just think that it's too weak in terms of value. But of course, we don't know. We don't know what's we don't know what's in store for the future yet. Maybe Dragon gets something that makes sense. Like I said, they might actually get a fish deck that makes more sense. And Meg and Mary are definitely like I think cards that are supposed to fit that mold, but their stats and their value doesn't really leave anything to be desired from what I'm seeing. All right. So at the end of the turn as well, like Mary gives a random allied super evolved form to field +1/+1. Oh gee, who might that be? It's probably gonna be Meg, of course, because she's gonna be super evolved. So Meg and Mary will be a super evolved combo for like 3 mana. So if you have a lot of cardio, I can see this actually be really good. We might force out evolves from people. Might force out evils from people. It might like actually like out tempo them, right? Around the mid range area, right? But yeah, like I can't see it right now. I can't imagine it right now. They'll have to release more cards for me to actually think that this is gonna be a threat to whatever the hell we have meta at the moment or like in the future. So yeah. And for the final card that I'll be showing you guys is actually a card that I think will be really, really strong. And it's Galleon. Earth personified 3 play point 5/5. 3 play point 5/5. And it's not even that isn't even like enough. Alright? It's 3 play point 5/5. It's a legendary, of course, right? Because it's a 6 dragons. And it also has ward. It cannot attack, but at the end of the turn, right? If you unlock super evil, so this is kind of like you know how samurai unlocks Bane, the sword samurai, right? They unlock Bane at super evolved phase. This is also the case for Galleon. For when you unlock super evolved, you will randomly evolve an unevolved allied follower on the field that didn't attack this turn, meaning she can also evolve herself. All right, so you might be thinking, yo, Nero, what is this for? Right? Like, first off, 3 mana 5/5. That's a ward. I was saying, but it can attack though. It's not a threat to hit my face. Yeah, but what if you are playing against somebody that wants to hit your face? Right? Let's say it's this is gonna be like the barrel of anti aggro. You know how like somebody drops a barrel, coin barrel, tree. Oh, I can't deal with it. Right? I can't deal with it. It's gonna hit my face. If somebody coins and drops this, right? Like this card, the aggro player is gonna be like, oh, like he dropped a three mana 5/5 ward. What am I gonna do about this? Like my tempo is ruined. You know, tempo is ruined. I can't get through it. I can't hit the face. And you'll be like, okay, is that the only thing it's good for? Hell nah, because this is the perfect card with Ether. Look at the mana cost, 3 mana. So meaning, Ward Havencraft, right? Playing Ether, you will pull like Galleon with the super with the fanfare effect. So you use Ether, you get Galleon on it, you super evolve your ether as always, right? Like depending on situation, but typically you super evolve it, you wipe the board, and then you end your turn. Galleon, since it's super evolved phase already by that time, Galleon will now evolve another unit besides the ether, of course, if you super evolved it, to make it even higher stats. So if Galleon evolves herself, she's gonna be like what? A 7/7 ward? Hello? That's kind of insane, right? And you're gonna be like, oh wow, big whoop. Like it doesn't attack. Yeah, but that's the thing. If you can't go through her, though, suddenly cards like Sarissa, which you can also get more stats on it if this effect procs on her if this like Sarissa evolves. Though you don't get the barrier, of course, but you do get the bonus stats. It's gonna be harder. You can also get Gilnelis, and then maybe they come back from being low HP because they got the free evolve off because more stats, right? Like maybe like the evolve stat, right, goes to somebody that can hit face, and then like you drop John the following turn. It just makes Ward Heaven a lot better, right? Is there any use of this card in like Crest Haven? Of course, it can be used as something just like a fat piece you play in the early game, or you can just like set up a John board with it because you can play this card, right? And then alongside, let's say you play some crest cards, some low cost crest cards, and then you play this card, and then they get evolved. Typical, they have ward, so you can just like build the wall, and if they don't clear it, you can John, right? So yeah, like insane card. I would say this would be one of the high. This has to be one of the highest value cards, if not the highest value card, right? The only card that can kill this in the early game is probably something like Valse, or let's say a Valse or a Bane, right? You have to use Bane, you have to use Destroy, you have to use multiple units, maybe like 1-2 drop into a spell that does 3 to 4 damage, stuff like that. It's going to be really hard to go through, and I'm really high on this card. I think if you plan to play something like Ward Haven in the next expansion, I I am going to guarantee you're definitely gonna play this with Ether. As somebody who plays Ward Haven a lot. So yeah. Alright. So that would be it for the cards. And lastly, I will show you guys the newly like a released leader, which is gonna be newly like revealed leader is gonna be Wamdus. I'm actually going to show you guys the EN version, and there's a good reason why. Because typically, right, I like the Japanese dub better, but they actually did a really good job on the EN dub. So take a listen.
Let's dive deeper. Go with the flow. Still thinking. Wanna swim? Time to play.
All right. Sorry about that. It was a little scuff. But yeah, that's like Wamdas. Like big props to the ENVA. I just wanted to show you guys that towards the end of this video because I actually admire when somebody actually puts in effort to like fit the character, like it's not like the character trying to fit in with the VA, it's the VA fitting in with the character. So yeah, just a little like thing in towards the end there. So yeah, big shout out to the VA, and like big shout out to Psy Games for releasing Wamdus once again, right? Both JP and VA, like both JP and EN, I'm really excited to like play that leader, and hope you guys are as well. All right, I'm gonna see you guys on the next video. See you tomorrow probably for more releases. If you like the video and you'd like to see more coverage on the Skybound Dragons, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Have a nice Friday. It's Friday on your side already. Bye bye.